A Ukrainian drone attack destroyed more than 40 Russian planes deep inside the country's territory, Ukraine's security service has said, while Moscow pounded Ukraine with missiles and drones just hours before a new round of direct peace talks in Istanbul. The so-called spiderweb operation, carried out by Ukraine's SBU security service, saw drones smuggle thousands of kilometers into Russian territory using lorries before they were unleashed to destroy the aircraft. This is what the SBU has said. Russia has confirmed that Ukraine attacked airfields across 5 regions, causing several aircraft to catch fire. Dasha Chernyshova has the latest for us from Moscow, but before that, listen in to what Mr. Zelensky has to say.
Щойно була доповідь голови Служби безпеки України Василя Малюка. Блискуча операція проведена. На території ворога виключно проти військових цілей, проти саме тієї техніки, яка використовувалась в ударах проти України. Дуже відчутні втрати Росії і абсолютно справедливі, заслужені їхні втрати. Дякую Службі безпеки, особисто генералу Малюку, також всім, хто був задіяний в операції. Готували операцію більш ніж 1,5 роки. Планування, організація, всі деталі були ідеально підготовлені.
A day ahead of the second round of direct talks between Moscow and Kyiv and Istanbul, 2 Russian regions came under a major drone attack. The governor of a Siberian city of Irkutsk confirmed that remote-piloted aircraft attacked a military unit. The drones were flying out from the truck parked on the road. A similar attack was reported in the Arctic city of Murmansk. In Russia's border regions of Kursk and Bryansk, 2 bridges have collapsed within hours overnight. In Bryansk, a bridge collapsed onto a train, killing at least 7 people and injuring more than 70, including at least 3 children. Up to 400 people were on board, many of them children. In Kursk, another bridge collapsed, derailing a freight train. The driver was injured. Senior Russian lawmakers say the attacks aim to complicate talks in Istanbul. Meanwhile, Russian delegation is reported to have departed for Turkey, where Moscow hopes to discuss its draft peace memorandum as well as documents on possible ceasefire. Dasha Chernyshova, NDTV, Moscow.
Staggering footage from a Ukrainian drone of an airbase under attack in Belaya in the Irkutsk region of Russia. Belaya lies a whopping 4,300 kilometers east of the Ukraine-Russia front line. This footage, though, of another attack is the clearest of the damage on the ground. This is the flight line at the Olenia airbase. Several Tu-95 bombers are on fire. The footage is filmed from a Ukrainian drone. Olenia, located to the far north, is 2,000 kilometers from the Russia-Ukraine battlefront. How exactly did this happen? These pictures provide a clue. Ukraine Security Service conducted the operations called Spiderweb after more than a year of planning them. Drones were smuggled into Russia. These were hidden in mobile wooden sheds which were placed on cargo trucks. This video shows what happened at the chosen time. The roofs opened remotely, the drones flew off, targeting military airfields and aircraft. Ukraine claims that this attack, one among several on Russian air bases today, has resulted in 40 Russian aircraft being destroyed on the ground. Among them Tu-95, Tu-160 and Tu-22M bombers, the mainstay of the Russian Air Force. The attacks come just a day ahead of scheduled talks between Russia and Ukraine. No clarity at the moment on what will happen now to the peace process. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Well, this massive Ukrainian drone strike on parked Russian jets, many say, has offered a glimpse into the future of war. But Sunday's audacious operation took more than a year to plan. This is what the Financial Times is reporting, and hit more than 40 aircraft at 4 fields deep inside Russia. Dubbed Russia's Pearl Harbor by pro-Moscow military bloggers, the attack reflects the prevalence of low-end artificial intelligence-enabled drone tech, and all this is happening just hours before a new round of direct peace talks in Istanbul. For an expert's view on the matter, let's go across to Washington, D.C. Alison Federica joins us live at the moment. Alison, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for making time for us and joining us on NDTV. Now, how might these latest moves actually reshape Moscow's air power capabilities and also the military calculus going forward?
So the big thing that this latest move will do is give Kiev a little bit more leverage in these negotiations that they're going to be entering into tomorrow, or today, I guess, in your time zone. Yeah. The military calculus, the issue for Russia, I think, is going to be more of a domestic security issue of how did this happen? And that is, I think, the immediate military impact of what type of intelligence failure, what type of security failures existed such that Ukraine was capable of carrying out an attack, especially since there was an entire year worth of planning to get to this point in time. Longer term, of course, rebuilding their Air Force capabilities is going to be quite the task. It's going to be very expensive. And this is coming at a time where they've already spent a lot of money on military development and manpower, given that they have been fighting in Ukraine for such a long time.
Right. Alison, the timing of the drone attacks, meanwhile, on the eve of Ukraine-Russia peace talks in Istanbul, many say it is striking, but do you see this as a pressure tactic or a potential spoiler to negotiations?
I don't think it's going to be a spoiler to negotiations because both sides face heavy constraints in terms of how long can they keep on fighting. The runway for both countries is getting shorter and shorter, so it really is coming down to what kind of deal can we get. I think that Ukraine's move right now with this attack is meant to rattle Russia, to try to project a level of strength and intimidation that we haven't really seen from Ukraine to this point in time. I would also say that right before these strikes occurred in Russian territory, there were also Russian strikes in Ukraine against various Ukrainian targets as well. So I think both sides are trying to demonstrate to the other that they can militarily keep on going if talks fail, and that they're prepared to do that, and that they're trying to show that they can put more damage onto their enemy in an attempt to try to get a better space in negotiation and have some sort of leverage or upper hand on the other.
Right. Meanwhile, many are also wondering if AI-powered drones can now fly long distances, recognize targets, strike without radio guidance. What's the plan? How NATO and countries in Asia should actually recalibrate their defense postures? That's something we'll be keeping a close eye on. But Alison, thank you so much for making time for us and joining us on NDTV.